Welcome to Sdeke Podcast, the student edition, with the gentleman here, Mr. Wonga Cacambile. Did I say the name right, sir?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Awesome, sir. Awesome, Dubile.
Yeah,
It's lovely having you here. I can't wait
thanks,
to
man.
draw from that well of wisdom. I always say that to my guests. Can't wait to just draw from that well of wisdom, you
Thanks, man.
know.
Thanks.
So, Mr. Wonga,
Um,
as we get into the gist of things, kindly tell us who is Wonga?
um, I think like if maybe you would have phrased it now, like maybe introduce yourself, kind of
Yeah,
vibes.
introduce
Yeah.
yourself, brother. Introduce yourself to us
Um.
and tell us a bit more about yourself.
uh,
Share your background, where you come from, and
okay.
what inspired you to study what you're studying.
Yeah, that's okay. Now I need to cut it very short. No.
Mm.
Okay, you said Wongalethu Cacambile. That's my name and
Yeah.
surname, so full. But generally known as Wonga. Um, so I grew up in a town just like not far away from where we are at the moment.
Yeah.
Strand, which is not like a popular township, or like yeah, a township where Kasi vibe,
Mm.
right? It's on the other side of the town, and you're not exposed to many things,
Yeah.
and you're caged there. So grew up there, did my
Mm.
primary school, my high school there. So I only came on this side of town because of uni,
Yeah.
right? Because of further studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm just a cool guy, if I can say. Yeah, just yeah.
So you're the first purely Capetonian that I'm interviewing. It's always good
Mm.
to interview the originals, as we call you.
Away.
You haven't touched
Nice.
on what you're studying. What are you studying, sir?
So at the moment,
Yeah,
studying Bachelor of Emergency Medical Care.
awesome.
So when I'm done and I've graduated, I'll be an independent emergency care practitioner. So it's
Mm.
an ECP. So it's kind of like fancy vibe. But basically your job, you work in the ambulance or you
Yeah.
work in the response vehicles,
Mm.
which is you treat people who need like emergency medical attention. Yeah, those patients that are hit like car accidents, that's where you go. People are having heart attacks, people
Yeah.
are stabbed, shot, like all manner of critical stuff. That's basically what a function of an emergency care practitioner does. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. As we're going deep into, we get further and more info on what your course entails and
Sure,
what you
sure.
do. Currently, I know that, or we might not know, you are probably staying on campus, right?
Yeah.
Just share with us, how is it like, that campus atmosphere,
Mm.
and how does the study life work, and how do you take it?
So I think that's a very interesting question
Mm.
to start there because for me, right, the campus life is like okay, we throw you in the ocean. It's either you learn to swim now or you sink,
Yeah.
because there's no amount of preparation that proper preparation in high school
Mm.
that goes into like equipping you well enough for university, the environment of university.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like for me, what I drew out from my experience of uni is that you get there, now you're learning to be independent. You see, you get there, no one owes you anything.
Mm.
Um, yeah, no one owes you anything. No one cares.
Yeah.
You're there on your own. It's either you learn to swim or you sink,
Mhm.
right? So I think for me, that's I would just summarize into it. Also, it's like when you get the environment, it's like from every corner, things are crying for your attention. Right? I mean, I'm here to study, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're coming from high school, you get into uni and you have this like zeal, like I'm here to
Mm,
study, and
mm. We're
but you
all there.
get there, like there's vast and different things that are crying for your attention. You see, there's booze that is asking for your attention. There's drugs, though it's not even popular, but it's
Mhm.
there, right? I mean, I can mention various things that are crying for your attention, wasting time and purposeless friends. You
Mm.
see, most of those things, they're just there, they're crying for your attention. So now that environment, it just requires you to be so disciplined that you know why you're there, and you just focus on why you're there. So it's a very interesting atmosphere.
It's more like we put you in the jungle. Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest.
You
You
have to
fight or you die. Yeah.
you have to fight
Mm.
against lions, against leopards,
Everything, man.
kill whatever you can until you make it.
Yeah, until you
So-
get out of the jungle. So, yeah.
So, with that, you mentioned that studying, or you reckon it, or you compare it to being thrown into the ocean and you don't know how to swim, but you have to figure your way out,
Yeah.
right? And you mentioned you came from high school, you're in Cape Town, you leave your town, Strand, and you come currently at Belleville,
Mm,
where
mm.
you are on your own, no family supervision, but you have to flow, right?
Yeah.
So, what tips can you give to a newbie or someone coming fresh from high school right now,
Mm.
and they want to transition from that high school life where they're being followed by the teachers, but now to full independence?
Mm.
What tips have you got for someone like that?
I think it all boils down to a new environment requires new principles, right? New
Lovely.
environment requires new strategies. You see,
Mm,
what I discovered, painfully so,
mm.
painfully so, transitioning from high school to university
Mm.
is that what worked in high school, it wouldn't work in uni, you see.
Okay.
Because in high school, the only thing that you had to do, literally, go to school, study,
Yeah.
sleep, wake up, study, go to school. That's it, right?
Yeah.
There's no extracurricular activities. Now you have to take care of your own laundry. Now you have to take care of your own other chores. That whereas now, at home you weren't, right? So now principles and strategies like time management. Now you need to manage your time very wisely, because if you don't, you're in trouble.
And jealously
Right.
so.
Yeah, and jealously so. Because now in high school, the time used to be generous with you. You no longer can in uni, right? So it's like that. So you learn to adapt and you overcome, you see. I think also the other very important thing transitioning from high school to university is the concept of mentorship, which it's not something that is there or something that is really preached, if I can put it that way, to say,
Yeah.
get a mentor, get someone who's been
Yeah.
where you want to be, basically.
Yeah.
Because if you're coming from high school and you get into uni, you're so confused. Like, you're so confused. Okay, this life is busy. Where am I going to start? Right. Generally, people, they say, nah, you know what? I'll cross the bridge when I get there. Like, dude, who told you there's a bridge to cross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see, some people, they're like, nah, you see, when I get to uni, I'll cross the bridge when I get there. Who told there's a bridge to cross there? You see. So they say, nah, I'll figure it out when I get there. Who told there's something to figure out in uni? Right. So I think it just boils down to say, if you like anyone who's transitioning from high school to uni, you need to understand that the transitioning principles that work there, new environment, new principles, and new strategies, right? And then importance, mentorship can't be stressed enough, because mentorship is like the shortcut, man. You avoid many mistakes that, you see, if I mentor someone now, they would avoid the mistakes that I did.
Yeah.
Trying different study strategies and everything. Like, they would avoid many mistakes that I did, because I've went through the path and like, okay, don't take that step, take this step. Don't take that way, take this way. You see. So I think that's the basically 2 points I would give anyone. Yeah.
Do you know, you've struck the point of mentorship. I have another question right now, but I don't want to deviate from that because I find it to be juicy right now, right?
Yeah.
But in short, something that I've got from what you're saying is that when you get to varsity, transitioning from high school to varsity,
Yeah.
you need to already have a certain character of being malleable or adaptable.
Yeah.
To your
Flexible. It must
Yeah.
be flexible.
Awesome.
You
Yeah.
have to.
You have to be. So let's say I'm a shy person because I want to stay on the topic of mentorship.
Okay.
I'm very shy. I grew up because at school we had that kind of atmosphere, environment where
Sure.
our teachers were more like our parents following us up. But I'm very shy. I don't know how to communicate with people. I don't go out, but I don't know how to get a mentor. How can I get a mentor? What would you advise? How do I approach someone to be a mentor and not come out as a freak or as a creep, rather, should I say in that way?
I mean, like, there's a way of approaching mentorship without forsaking who you are,
Yeah.
right? Because maybe you're a shy person, but you still need the mentorship.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what you mentioned, that you need to be flexible. I mean, there are just sometimes there are aspects of your personality that you can't change, right? But you have to fit into um, certain things in order for you to achieve something,
Yeah.
right? In the concept of mentorship, I mean, me, I'm a very hard-headed person. Like, not hard-headed person, but if I know what I want, then
Yeah.
I know how to study, I know how to figure out my own way of doing things, you see. But through just encountering some few obstacles through the process, like, okay, cool, I need help. I need guidance in this. I don't know everything. So you may be shy to say, I'm afraid to ask for help, because this is the other thing. So people who are shy, they associate asking for help or approaching people who they would like to mentor them as a weakness. Okay, you're asking to be mentored because you're weak, or you're asking to be mentored because you don't know anything, or you're like stupid, basically. And it's not like that, you see. When you submit yourself to mentorship, it's actually power. I, I don't know how to put it, but it's like just this genius powered brain submitting itself to another higher leveled IQ person who would help you to channel your brain powers to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
So now, like, it's just humble yourself and know that at a point you have to adjust. Even if you're shy, it's not a weakness. I think if you're putting it that way, it's a matter of people, they approach mentorship or they perceive mentorship as a way of saying, I don't like, you're stupid. You're not stupid, but you're admitting that, okay, I may be not well
Lacking.
informed. I'm lacking in this area. So I think I need an extra hand.
Yeah.
It's not like you're weak. Yeah. Actually, you have more strengths than your weaknesses.
You remind me of a post that I saw a while back that says that um, when you meet a smart person or meet someone smarter than you, don't compete, rather learn from them.
Learn. Yo, that's
So,
powerful. Yeah.
so pretty much with what I'm getting from you is this, is that in your quest to get a mentor, you need to be humble. Just be
Yep.
humble.
Yep.
And when one is humble, you
Mhm.
make it easy to get a mentor, and that has been working for you.
Yeah.
But now, in the wake of all these, academic, you've got a mentor that's pushing you, that's helping you, keeping your focus. How do you balance your academic commitments with your extracurricular activities and your social life? Because you well stated that you are a goal-driven person. You're someone who's a bit stubborn. How do you balance? I've got time to play, and I've also got time for studies.
Okay. I think this is not something that I mastered when I started university, right? Because for me, I came to uni, when I matriculated, I remember we were so crazy with my study mates in high school that we cross nights 4 times a week, like 5 times a week. That's just how crazy we were. And because we knew what we wanted to achieve, and we knew that, next year, come rain, come thunder, we want to see ourselves entering uni.
Yeah.
Right. And then now coming to uni, approaching it with the same mindset to say, I'm here to get my degree, and that's it, you see. So initially, how I started it personally is I would go to class, come back, eat, go to the library, come back like around 2 a.m., and then go to sleep. There's a class at 9 a.m. Now I'm waking up, I'm sleep deprived, don't have a social life, don't have friends, you see. And that was not sustainable. Though it was doable, but it was not sustainable. You see, it's all about sustainability. I think I would boil it to that whole point. It's all about sustainability. So having a study balanced life, it's all about, okay, I'll make this basic example, right? Your life is like a puzzle. No. it's like a puzzle. It paints a picture. When the puzzle is complete, it paints the picture, the uniform picture.
Yes.
But if there's one piece that is missing of the puzzle, it doesn't matter if you have 99 pieces of the puzzle. There's one that is missing, that piece is incomplete. You see? So even if you can be working so hard, you can be studying so hard, if you don't socialize, if you don't have friends that add value to, not just friends, but that add value to you, that make you a better person, you see, you will go down the roller coaster, right? Finding that you're working, but you don't reach your targets because your life is not well balanced. You see, even if it's a table, it has all the three legs, but there's one missing, so it can't sustain or hold any weight. You see, so you can't hold any success because your life is out of balance. You see, so I wasn't exercising, though exercise is like something that is like throwing the trash bin to say it's kind of like useless. Why do we exercise? Let's watch Netflix and chill. You see, I didn't have chill sessions just to chill. You know, how good does it feel that you just sit down and chill with people, have a chat? It feels so good. You go back and you do your work, you're so refreshed. But when you're sunk into work, you don't get to explore the beauty of your environment, the beauty of the world, you see. So if I'm sunk into medical stuff, I'm not exposed to the beauty of what's happening on campus 100%. Or what's happening in Cape Town, you see, because there's a lot of beautiful places in Cape Town, a lot of beautiful people that you can meet on campus that can change your life and that you can change their lives, you see. But if you're so sunk into work, it's not sustainable. That's why some people, they end up going into anxieties and stuff because their life is out of balance.
Have balance, have time for play, and I mean, there should be fun in whatever you're doing. Very much. And also early on, it's more of once you've arrived or you get to your promised land, don't lower the bar.
Sure, keep on lower the bar.
So now you've reached your promised land. I would take it you've reached your promised land, but and
we're enjoying some bit of honey and some sweetness.
But hearing with what you're saying, a question that has been striking my head right now is that what has been that unique or memorable experience on campus that has really shaped your journey so far? Because early on you stated that you learned it the hard way. Could you kindly share what happened?
Oh, okay. This guy. Why are you asking? Like, why are you just exposing my life? So I think one of the life shaping experiences for me was through failure, right? You see, it's like okay, I thought you were gonna say you met a billionaire on campus. So
we all want to.
We all want to. You know, I met a celebrity on campus, change everything about me. But I understood myself better when I hit that obstacle. You see, it's like, okay, this is what we've hit now. And it actually changed a lot of things about me. You know, though it was a humbling experience, but it was a learning curve for me. It was a stepping stone to becoming a better individual, a better friend, a better colleague, and a better becoming practitioner. You see, because we have a very bad relationship when it comes to failure. I'm not advocating for failure, but it's part of the process. You see, I was reading this amazing book, and the guy was stating that these successful entrepreneurs that now have these running conglomerates and these enterprises, actually in business, entrepreneurs, they fail 3.5 times before they actually shoot up in the market. You see. So when I hear that experience, it changed everything about me, man. That's where I went for information. You see, how to be a better student now, how to have a well-balanced life. You see, now instead of having a well-balanced life, Now I started doing activities that I was not doing.
Mhm.
I started having a couple of chilling sessions that I was not doing initially, and that fed um, me to becoming a better individual, and it changed everything about me, man. Like I can't express it into this podcast
That's
or it is like 10 minutes that we have here,
yeah.
but it changed everything, man, about me. Like it really changed everything.
And I love that you are very honest to explain that you went through failure, and you show us, you give us hope that, and also share the reality that when one goes to varsity, there are some subjects that might show you flames. I
Yeah.
can testify, I've gone through that. They humble
Ah.
you, but then we think different,
Yeah.
and you've picked yourself up and we'll see where you're going. So,
Trust me, it takes a lot of energy to pick yourself up. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. Yeah. And you know what I've
yeah,
learned is that
yeah,
some people that rise up from failure or some
Mm.
people that rise up from certain obstacles,
yeah.
nothing can beat them down in life. You see, like they just
Mm.
have this solid confidence in themselves, man. That you know what, bring all kinds of definitions that you want to bring
Mm.
when it comes to them, but you can't break them down, man.
Mm.
Yeah, you just can't. Yeah, so it's just one of the things that I've learned through the process.
Don't be defeated. Keep
Yeah,
on pushing.
yeah, and just
Yeah.
understanding that,
Mm.
like you getting to uni and doing your course, you see, it's a process. It's not just a walk in
Yeah.
the park. It's a process. So you embrace the process. You fall in love with the process. You see, in the process there might be loopholes,
Yeah.
but you embrace them. You fall in love with the process, and in the meantime, you definitely gonna hit the target.
I just I'm a bit unhappy that our time is sort of like compressed, but definitely I will invite you for another one. We need to talk.
There's
It's
a lot.
there's
There's
a
a
lot
lot.
to learn. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
And
Mm.
you are mentioning about process. Enjoy the process.
Yeah.
So now the question that goes in my head right now is, how do you deal with stress? Because you're enjoying the process, but then sometimes varsity life can be very stressful.
Mm.
It can be very stressful where you've got 3 assignments maybe due on the same day, and then you have to scatter yourself. How do you deal with stress, with the workload, and with that pressure? How were you managing it?
Okay, I think for me, okay, it will always boil down to that life-changing experience that I went through. So I have to go back there.
um,
Like eventually, I have to go back there. So because the thing is, you start university with this like hyped up motivation. You see,
yeah,
I can like
yes,
I've got this. I'm the big man. You
yeah,
know, it doesn't matter. You see, in my class, we were just the bomb squad.
ace squad.
Yeah, we were the bomb squad. And then when you get here, you find out that okay, calm down. You see, there's another guy that you're not even a match to him. Yeah, first day of class, bruh. They're just
Yeah.
having like these sophisticated terms that they're mentioning to the lecturer. You'd be like, okay, I still have a long way to go here. You see, so you start uni with this stresses there. You can't avoid stress because
Yeah.
there's just an incredible amount of information. Like there's a huge catalog of information that you need to go through in such a limited time. And yeah, and this information you have to apply it in the industry or whatsoever that you'll be doing. So how I used to handle stress. Okay, let's start how I used to handle stress and how I'm handling stress now. Right? How I used to handle stress back then, right? There's these motivational videos on YouTube that some people feed on them each and every morning when they're taking a shower, having breakfast. No, you can do that. You know that. Raw. You see, like those were nothing wrong about them,
Yeah.
but everything is wrong when you're drawing your sense of direction and identity from them. You see.
100%. Wow.
Now, when the reality of life kicks in, the reality of university kicks in, you find out that it's no match to what YouTube was telling you.
100%.
Then stress in uni breaks you down. Like it beats the hell out of you.
Yeah.
But now, how I handle stress is differentiating between motivation and inspiration. Right. Two like
Different things.
different things.
Mm-hmm.
These are different things, you see. Motivation depends on what's happening around you, what you're feeding on. But inspiration, it doesn't matter what is happening. It doesn't matter how you're feeling on that particular day. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like doing my shift paperwork. I don't feel like doing my research proposal, you see. I don't feel like studying physiology today, but because I'm inspired by the dream that I have, you see. I'm just inspired by this future figure that I've seen myself becoming. And then you see, even if the environment is stressful, but you are so inspired, and inspiration is not determined by what is happening around you, but by what is happening in you.
Wow.
Yeah. And then motivation is determined by what is happening around you, basically.
Being cheered around.
Yeah. So again, that's just how I would put it, how you handle stress. You see, when you're inspired, there's just no pressure, man, that you can handle. You can't handle, basically. You see.
My previous guest have all been saying a common thing: know your why. So it's more like hearing by the way you're speaking about motivation and inspiration. Inspiration sounds more like your why. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you studying?
Why are you here?
And you pick up and move along with it.
So why are you here? Why are you in uni? Why am I doing the course that I'm doing? You see, because certain people, they are doing certain courses, not with a plan of staying there, but as a building block towards it, towards something else that they want to achieve, right? So when you know why you're doing the course that you're doing, then it even helps you. It makes you different from the other breeds of people that you're around, because you approach things with another mentality that this is not just the end for me, but this is a stepping stone to something better.
Yeah.
Or this is a stepping stone to something that I've always wanted. You see, so you tend to like approach things with a different mentality, with a different notion. You say like, I'm approaching this because maybe I'm studying accounting because after this I'm doing my master's in business in the UK or in Harvard. You see, because now you're gonna approach that accounting with a different mindset as compared to someone that I'm just doing this for the sake of just having cash. Yeah. So if you can just differentiate your why am I here? When you understand that, then it makes you different from the rest of the people, you see. And then when you embrace that, like nothing can stop you, man.
Let's go back to the course you're studying. You said you're studying.
Sure.
Can you share with us what is the most challenging part about your course? Because I noticed that we spoke a lot about motivation, why you're studying, but we haven't yet dwelled around the course you're studying. We haven't spoken much about it, but we did an intro. But what is a challenging? What's challenging about it? Let's say you've got someone who thinks about studying the same course as you.
Sure.
What tips can you give them? What can they prepare for?
Like, so my courses are like, I don't know how to put it, but it's a full package. Yeah, let me put it that way. Oh, that's a perfect example, man. That's a smart description of the course, bro. Like, on point, slam.
Yeah.
It's a full package.
Yeah.
Right.
Being a paramedic.
Being a paramedic
Yeah.
it's a full package.
Yeah.
Because it's physically demanding, emotionally demanding, psychologically you have to maintain a fair stability.
Yeah.
If you're psychologically compact. Like it's a full package, man. Because we have physical assessments. We have, I think, it was yesterday. We were having a swimming assessment. Yeah, it was really harsh. It was really harsh. You have that swimming, you have running, you have like physical activities that you have to do. On top of that, you have clinical shifts that you have to work. Certain number of patients that you have to see, and certain skills that you have to perform. Right? We leave it there. On top of that, you have classes to attend during the week. not forgetting the assignments and the projects that you have, right?
Yeah.
Whereas other courses, we give you the content, go study, no physical assessments, no shifts during the weekend. Yeah. So basically, during the week, you are in class. In the weekends, you're on the ambulance or in the hospital or in the theater or in the maternity wards. You're there.
Do you get paid for that?
Nope. But it counts towards your graduation. Yeah. So it's a full package, man. So if then someone who said, okay, I want to study the course, are you really, really sure that you want it? Because for me, because we go for hikes, not a month. I think a month ago, we went for a full week sleeping in a mountain. You see, so it boils back, right, to what we were speaking about earlier on, falling in love with the process. You see,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I want to be an emergency care practitioner, but look at the process. You have to swim. You have to go and sleep in the mountains. You have to run. You have to do push-ups. You have to do sit-ups. All of these, it's a process to becoming an emergency care practitioner. So for me, someone who wants to do my course, I would lay down the process.
Yeah.
This is the process, and are you sure you are able to hold the process? You see, there's been so many amazing people, man, that I've met, but they couldn't handle the process. You see, yeah, it's sad, man. Sharing so many memories with people, but they couldn't handle the process. So it's a full package. That's just how I can put it. And there's just, an incredible amount of information that you have to squeeze into your brain in a short span amount of time. Like in a short span of time, you have to squeeze in this textbook into your brain. Trust me, it won't explode.
There's a saying that says that for gold to be gold, it has to pass through fire. And it's pretty much what I'm hearing. In order for you to get to the promised land, let me go back there, you have to go through some form of fire.
And there's this quote that there's this quote. I'm just thinking about it now. That also, it was just something that it shaped. It was part of the process that really redefined me. That quote says, "Someday you look back at the progress that you have made, and you'll be so glad you never gave up." Like, you will look back at all the setbacks, milestones you've crossed, process you went through, and look at, okay, I'm glad I never gave up.
100%.
Yeah, there are moments you'll feel like giving up, like, what's the
100%.
point?
Yeah.
But it's always just reminding yourself of the end goal.
You've mentioned that always remind yourself of the end goal.
Yeah.
What are your goals? What are your future goals? Can you share some? We want to hear.
This man is really it's really exposing my career plans.
Yeah.
So for me, initially, I never wanted to be a paramedic. Let's put it that way. Yeah, because I need to be honest about it.
Yeah.
All this concept that I'm like, okay, what you're studying can be a building block to what you want to achieve.
Yes.
So when I was in matric, I wanted, like, I knew, just spark in my brain.
Yeah.
Clicked, man. It clicked. I want to do medicine. I want to be in the medical field.
Yeah.
But push came to shove. I applied at CPT, and then this course took me first. And then so before you enter the course, you have to do 2 ride-along shifts, volunteering shifts. So they put you in the ambulance. You have not entered the course. They put you there. They're testing if you can handle it. So they're giving you the exposure to say, this is what you're going to deal with. So are you going to handle it? You see? So when I went for that shift, for those 2 shifts, 2 shifts, I loved it, man. I fell in love with it because it's not far from what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I've had conversations with doctors, man. The conversations, they click, like, integrated conversations. I've loved it. So, but not being distracted from the main goal, though. Where did I want to be initially? So yeah, that, so understanding where I'm at and where I want to
Want to
be,
be.
it's just a stepping stone
That's
for
very
me,
important.
right? But where do I want to be? So I would say, kind of like I always wanted to be a different breed of a paramedic.
Yeah.
Even the people that I associate myself with are different breeds, man. Like they're
Mm,
just
mm,
Caesars in this
mm.
field, bro. Because I know where I want to be and the person I want to become. So medicine's the next goal, bro.
Your
Yeah,
doctor.
because that's just where I want to be. Because like um, checking the facts,
Yeah.
long-term goals, long-term plans.
Yes.
Is this job sustainable? When I get to a certain age, will I still be able to balance between now the responsibilities that come with that particular age,
Yeah.
with the work that we'll be currently doing? You see,
Mm.
can't be running around, someone's dead, running sirens around, like, hey, there's your dad. You see, yeah, man. I think that's basically it from my side.
It's a
Mm.
pity that we only have 5 minutes left.
Sure, sure.
We are just out of time. But there are
Cool.
two questions I want to ask. I think I'm going to start off with the first one. Let's say, let's go back. Let's just roll the clock back to maybe 5 years ago. And there's the Wonga who is currently studying Strand at high school, wanting, yet does not know what he wants to study, is very unsure. What advice would you give to the younger you or any student,
Mm.
or let me say high school learner right now aspiring to get into varsity?
Exposure. Expose yourself to the expose yourself to relevant information, right? I think that's just one of the first things that I would just hammer into
Mm.
my, let's say, 15-year-old self.
Yeah,
Expose yourself to relevant information
mission. Yeah.
and expose yourself to relevant people, you see.
Mm.
Because the lack of information, I just believe, and I've noticed, because I've mentored people
Yeah.
first years quite a bit.
Yes.
um, Lack of exposure in terms
Mm.
of information. What's really happening in the next phase? So if you're in primary school, grade 7, what's happening in high school?
Be ahead of time.
You see, what's happening in uni? So being ahead of time and
Mm.
being exposed to relevant information, I believe, is one of the first things. And being exposed to the right people, relevant
Mm.
people,
Mm.
because so many people now are making wrong career decisions, especially kids that are most especially in grade 10, because that's where I believe that's where you set the direction of where your life is going to go, in a sense, if you're a career driven person. You
100%.
see, if
Yeah.
you're a business person, typically you might not need
Mm.
particular subjects, though you might. But, you know, exposing yourself to the relevant people, um, is what leads so many high school students now to wrong career decisions.
Mm.
Because, I mean, I've heard of a medical student who studied medicine, and then in third year, they only go to practicals in third year. She was doing exceptionally well, bro. Like exceptionally well. In theory, she was bashing everyone in class.
Mm.
But when it came to the practical side, she couldn't handle the trauma of medicine.
Mm.
You see, cause of exposure.
Mm.
So expose yourself to relevant information, expose yourself to the right people. I think that's just two things I will hammer to my like younger self, younger version of me.
Exposure. A lack of exposure
Yeah.
will choke your passion.
Mm. Yeah.
So finally, sir, you mentioned that you're studying at CPUT. Would have loved to touch more on that, but
Mm.
we will do it in the next podcast because I'm definitely going to invite you again, sir.
Part
So
two. We have a lot
yeah,
to talk
part two.
about.
Part
We
two
have
is
a lot.
coming.
Part two.
So my final question is: what is your favorite part about being a student at CPUT,
Mm.
and what do you like about the university you're studying at?
I think, what do I like about the university that I studied? Okay, free Wi-Fi first of the I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I think I think superiority at a point, though it's just not something that most people are familiar with, but there are just so many opportunities that are there,
Yeah.
but you just have to hunt for them. So many people, they just wait for those right things to find them. Sometimes they don't find you.
Yeah.
You have to find them. Just
Mm.
nice opportunities that are hidden treasures within campus. You just need to find. They just need serious people. That's all. So yeah, some things that I love about CPT, there's mentorship programs, man. You see, there's academic assistance.
Yeah.
You see, some people, they don't know about those because I don't know why they wouldn't know.
Exposure.
Exposure, it goes to exposure first. You see, I like my philosophy, man. Yeah, it just boils down to exposure. You see, so that is just one other thing that I would say I loved about CPT is there's just so much academic support, man.
Yeah.
I know there's also academic awards of people who performed well in high school who are merging into first year. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
exactly. You see, so if you perform really well, then there's a amount of money that you get in CPT. So such opportunities are there. So I like CPT because there's opportunities. But people who say there are no opportunities, it's because they are lazy to find them.
Wow. People say that there are no opportunities. It's because they are lazy to find them. Which goes back, you have to work to find those things.
Yeah, you
Opportunities
have
are
to
always
work.
there, but you have to push for it.
Yeah, someone said that people often miss opportunity because it's dressed in overall. It's actually walking around looking like work. So like they're missing opportunities in CPT because they look like work sometimes. You know, they're dressed in overalls and yeah.
So, well, Mr. Wonga, thank you so much.
Thank
You
you,
have been a
sir.
blessing. You have been a mouthful.
Thank you,
Like I
sir.
said at the beginning, I couldn't wait to draw from that well of wisdom. And I feel very refreshed right now.
Thank you.
And I know I'm going to take this as a student. Wow. I'm going to apply many things you spoke about. There are certain things you revealed that I didn't know about, as a student, I did not know about, but now I've got to understand as well. But I think I still feel that if time had permitted us, we're going to talk about a lot of things.
A lot of things,
but definitely we will invite you for part two. Part two is looming. Can't wait for that.
Cool.
So, thank you so much. And I want to wish you all the best with your studies.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
can't wait for the graduation.
Really appreciate it, brother. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Yeah.
When are you finishing, sir? Because I think we haven't touched that.
So definitely finishing next year. Next year, December, starting work. Something cooking, something beautiful is cooking, bro. Already. Like I was having a conversation last night during the week. You see, something is cooking already. You know, people are just like, when are you finishing? We want you.
It's boiling.
It's boiling. So yeah,
it's reaching boiling point right now.
Boiling point. So
yeah. So
life is good, man.
It should always be good. Nothing else. It shouldn't be otherwise. So thank you so much, Mr. Wonga, and we wish you all the best. And
thank you, man.
Thank you for honoring our invitation and for the time we've had.
Stay tuned for part two.
Part two.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I appreciate you taking time and tuning in and be part of our community. We get to share ideas, stories, and perspectives through this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and found something valuable in it. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your family and friends. I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode. Until then, take care. This is Stega Podcast signing out. See you next time.